Shimpo? Well, let's talk about it. It seems such a long time ago, and being a teenager, just studying medicine in Germany, decided that it would be interesting to go to learn something which was really catching up my interest, and that was kind of more of a holistic medicine. So my decision was to follow into the footsteps of my brother, who already has been in Japan and studying traditional Japanese medicine with Dr. Takagi, our mentor. And well, for me, it was supposed to be kind of an easy step, just kind of following into my brother's steps, right? So he has been already there, he has arranged everything, and it was supposed just to go and be there and do the study. So what happened was, coming to Japan, my brother already finished his part in Japan. So it was all cleared for me. They knew it was time for his younger twin brother to come over and take over his place. So me taking over the apartment, which was a very nice small apartment, very close to the place where we learned with Dr. Takagi. And yeah, in the first few weeks everything was fine. Met these people and had this apartment, and my brother also left me a little bit of some works where you could kind of get some money for. So everything was doing good. And one moment, maybe 2-3 months into, it happened that some series of bad dreams came around, and it kind of showed always the same sensation, like losing something, and it told me in the dreams to just let go. But of course you can't, or in that time it was my belief that you can't take care of your dreams. So it was just like not being able to let go. So what happened was, one day the landlord came over to me and told me that his apartment is destroyed, and it was supposedly my fault. So he decided to throw me out on the street, which was for me like really something hard to understand, because not even knowing what happened. So he left me a few hours to leave the apartment, and well, luckily there was not many things which belonged to me, so it was kind of easy to put everything into the backpack and all my belongings, and take the bike and well, leave the apartment. And yeah, so went to see some of my friends who had been also foreigners in Tokyo. Actually it's Nodashi, which is kind of close by Tokyo, and wanted to see if it would be okay to have a place to stay, to sleep, a bed and stuff. But it kind of didn't work out, because all of them, they all had their own struggles, and they had so small apartments that they basically didn't have any space for me. So they did help me out by taking my belongings, so at least there was not that much of a luggage. And for the first few nights, it was just kind of walking around, kind of looking for a place you could kind of lay down and sleep. So basically becoming homeless. And that went on for a few weeks. And yeah, of course there was also the issue with food, because my money was also running out. And yeah, since my parents didn't really like the idea of me or my brother traveling somewhere out of Europe to go to study something, they did not want to support us. And for me it was like, yeah, the kind of the pride, like, if you don't want to help me, that's fine with me, don't need your help, so we'll be able to manage it. And didn't even call home to ask them. Well, actually once called them to ask them if they could send me some money, but they said like, oh, right now we have a situation, we had some money to spend on something, so yeah, we will send you later on some. So never ask them again. And yeah, try to survive. It was quite often where there was no food at all. So yeah, for several days in a row you couldn't get any food. And then with time you kind of figure out how to survive in a big city. So that helped a lot. And also one day my mentor, Takagi Sensei, he asked me like, so where are you actually staying? I was like, well, why do you ask? And he said like, well, you're coming every day from another direction. So where do you stay? Yeah, that was kind of an embarrassing moment. And you see, when you're on the streets, you're kind of really not proud of yourself. So you kind of try to hide it. And what happened was, he actually, of course, he figured out that it didn't work well for me. The only thing which was for me important at that moment was to study and, of course, doing the martial arts. And besides that, nothing really was so important for me. So when he figured out that there was this issue with me being in Japan, he kind of said, like, okay, let's go. And we went to a restaurant where he bought me food. And that was delicious. It was, yeah, maybe that's why it's still my favorite food today. It was fried rice, and it was just delicious. And at one moment he left the table and went to the owner of the restaurant, and then they talked a bit, just don't know what about. And then when we came back to the office, a few minutes afterwards, there was a guy coming, and he was coming towards me, and he had a lot of questions, and he asked me so many things. And for me at that moment, it was like, oh, this must be a policeman. So the fear of getting in trouble even more than it was increasing by 100. And this guy had so many strange questions. At one point, he just kind of gave me a small smile and said like, you're gonna be fine. And for me, it was like, what's that supposed to mean? So he went to Takagi Sensei, they talked for a little bit, and then he left. And even this person was very strange. Never happened to see him again. Yeah, and then after that, it kind of started to be kind of unusual. You meet people who have a lot of interest in you, which haven't been before. So they're like having a lot of questions, and not like the regular question where they ask you, so how do you do, and stuff like this. It's more the question like, what is your belief? How do you think about certain topics and stuff like this? So yeah, that was a little bit strange. And then one day, one of these guys, Kamada Sensei, he asked me if it would be interesting for me to join him on a little trip. So we went on a short car drive, and then we came into a kind of a temple. And yep, that is where basically all of my story starts. Because at that place, there were so many strange people. You see, when you arrive at some place and people are, now you would kind of say they are overwhelmingly friendly. That is kind of a little bit strange, right? So all of them have been really strange, and they brought me little gifts and fruits and a lot of things, and they've been so nicely talking to me. And it was like, okay, that is a strange, bunch of people. So then they asked me to go to a certain room and said, wait for a minute. And then one guy came, and he asked me if it would be nice for me to go with him for a walk. And so, yeah, sure. He gave me some food. They gave me vegetables. Yeah, sure. Wherever you want, let's go. And then we walked towards like a park, and then he had a lot of questions, all into the direction like, Do you have any problems? Is there anything which makes your life hard? Do you believe that you're suffering in life and stuff like this? And he just was into the art of just asking. He didn't even wait for a response from my side. So after a 10, maybe 15-minute walk, we arrived at a very huge tree, really a old, big, wonderful, beautiful tree. And then he said, like, since you have so many problems, since you have so many things which are troubling you in your life, would it help you if you would talk about these problems of yours and these issues you have? It was like, yeah, maybe, because he's all the time asking, maybe he is really interested in what's troubling me. So after making sure that it was my interest to talk, to open up about all the problems, well, then he suddenly turned around and said, like, look, this tree is having time for you. So make sure that you will explain all the troubles, all your issues, all your problems very precisely to the tree. It's gonna listen to you. But you have to be very honest and tell every bit of your problems. And then he gave me this strange smile, turned around and went on. So for me it was like, what is going on? And then it was a look at the tree, looking the way he was walking away at his back. And it was like, so who is the crazy now? Is it this guy who is telling me to talk to a tree? Or is it maybe me who is still standing here and wondering what to do now? So yeah, that was basically my first lesson, how everything started. And after that, they kind of started to teach me. And they started to do that by letting me experience it through some jobs, little jobs you had to do, like you would have to take and clean up a room, but the way you do it is not right, so they show you a bit different. And yeah, everything you kind of are doing, it has to be a reason why. And yeah, so you go on and go on, and then you learn a little bit by a little bit. And then maybe after 4 or 5 weeks into this, you notice change. You do notice really that you're just changing, and everything you see, you start to see different, and you kind of have the strong emotion of changing your thoughts. So what they actually did was changing the way of my thoughts. And when you kind of experience that, when you have this experience of change, not because you kind of are wishful thinking or something like that, it's more the way of how you kind of see yourself in your inner world. So then everything starts to change in the outside world. So what happened was, after this several weeks, 6 weeks after that, it happened that everything changed so quickly and dramatically that my life began to be so joyful. It was so much fun, and people have been helping me out even without asking them. They would give me like food and drinks, and even people you never met before. They would just come, like a grandma. She came and she said, like, oh, you look so nice. Where are you from? So you say which country it is. They don't know anyway. So, but they're like, oh, it's so nice that you're here and stuff like this. So yeah, even 4 people would bring you something. And it happened for me to get a house, a huge house with a huge garden, and it was for free. And food came in, and yeah, they've been opening up so many opportunities for me, and even money was coming in, and everything started to change so beautifully. So it took me, of course, a while to learn a little bit more and to get all the understanding. And it changed everything. The way of my life today is, it's all the result of getting to know these strange people. And when people see me, some of them do really believe that the way of thinking and the way of acting is kind of not really normal. But that's okay, that's kind of more of a compliment for me. Because if you are like everyone else, you're gonna live like everyone else. But if you become different, then your life is gonna become different. You just have to decide how your life is supposed to be different. And Shimpo is just the name which is given by me for this knowledge because of the combination. When you understand what it's about, it's about your inner feeling connected to the outer world. So Shin, the kanji, the pictogram for the first word Shin means like heart, and the other one, the Po, well, means it's the principles, or it's the law. So it's basically the principles of the heart. And if you understand this, you will understand what you have to do. So when you learn, let's say when you understand the basic, the fundamental parts of the system, you will understand what you have to do in any moment of your life. So any situation which can come up and will come up in your life, because life is meant to be a challenge, you will always know what to do. And Shimpo, for me, is the biggest gift ever given to me. And especially Kamata Sensei, he helped me so much about everything. And also other people who have been a huge impact on that, because they showed me that your dream life is just one thought away, but you have to learn how to think different, and you're gonna enjoy it. So my way of understanding Shimpo is, we are living in a society which has someone decided for us, and Shimpo makes you free, and you can decide how you want to live. Yeah, the new way of saying it is you have to escape the matrix. But yeah, most people who are saying that they have to change their point of view and escape the matrix, they are still caught in the matrix, just not that tight like in before. So Shimpo is basically a collection of wisdom from all the wise men. And if you follow it, and if it becomes your way of thinking, your faith, you have to change, because you are going to be what you believe you are. So Shimpo it's maybe one of the best things you can encounter in your life. It's like, of course you can learn everything now, especially these days where you have the internet, where you have kind of everything. You have, for example, the AI, which is very popular now, but the AI is programmed by regular people. And most of the people who are controlling the world, they are not interested that someone understands what life is. So it's also the question, can you really learn it from AI? In my opinion, you have to find someone who is already into the knowledge, and then take it. So there's different systems, there's different approaches to everything, but you have to find the one. For me, Shimpo was great because it's easy to understand, it's easy to follow, it makes it, everything is kind of logic, and you can prove it because it's so interconnected with biology. So it's easy to see if it's the right step, or you maybe should step back or change something. So yeah, what else is there to say besides you just have to be open and take your life in your hands, and that's it. So if we have any more questions, if you want some more answers, just contact us, and everyone who is we are global now, everyone you contact and who is one of these leaders in that, the instructors, she or he is gonna help you out to get more information, to get more knowledge, and maybe you'll decide to be one of us. That means one of the people who understand a little bit more of life. So thank you for being with me, and you enjoy your life.